some interpretations of free will, or the lack thereof, is I don't know who said this, but there's a quote: we're just an amalgamation of emotions, desires, and situations. And what we do is not really free will, it's just the consequences of what we are.
Yeah. So I think...
Well, not that it's true or anything, but that's just one person's take on it.
True. No, 100% true.
I feel like the
Like,
step...
in a sense, but I can control it. Even if I'm stressed,
What's
or anxious.
Isn't it just another...
What's
People are
what?
grouping
What's
things.
control? What?
People are grouping things as internal, external, internal momentary, and internal combined with knowledge, which becomes a future. So that's desire when you take it to the future. Present is emotion, and external is how internal reacts, right? So external is
What are we talking about?
Dude, I think...
fucking situation.
I think emotion is just
situation?
what humans think of not understanding what they want. Because I think conscious and then intelligence just derives from you not only perceiving your senses, but also being able to perceive desire.
Do we want to walk one more super lap by the way?
Yeah, sure. I'm recording this, by the way.
Okay.
And, but like, I feel like with like conscious and stuff like that, once you have desire, emotion just comes from you not knowing exactly what to do or how to get what you want
My
and stuff like
interpretation
that.
of emotion is usually like
Isn't desire just
your
emotion?
body
Like,
naturally
knowledge?
saying this is what I want or this is how I feel.
Like
Because
desire.
like that's how I figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, do I like something? Well, how do I feel about it?
Exactly. Because like, I feel like when you talk about emotion, if you think about it hard enough, you can always boil down an emotion to an inherent desire. Or your emotion is stemming from other multiple desires or other outcomes of your life. In the end, it's just like another loop you're gonna have to break by figuring
So you're
your
saying
shit
it's
out.
conditioned by the external, right?
Yeah, because
There
like,
has to be something internal.
because
that
we're
allows
just an
itself to be
animal. So if we didn't grow up in society and we were raised by wolves, who's to say we would feel emotion at all? We would just be fucking killing things and
That's
surviving.
an emotion in itself.
Yeah,
Animals
we would
feel
just fulfill our desire. Like they said, old humans used to just fuck like crazy. Apparently they used to fuck donkeys. They would just fuck each other all the time. Because you have desire, but you don't have emotional control over your desires. So you just act on them. And that's what we call animal. But it's just that they don't comprehend emotion. Which is why humans have just labeled emotion as something. What do you guys think? Podcast mode.
I think there's something internal that's conditioned to react to something external.
I think all animals have emotion just naturally.
Like that.
Because monkeys have
I'm just
emotion. It's
I'm
been
just
proven.
like I'm
all
just breaking
almost
down
every
what
animal
I
does.
think emotion is, but I feel like anything with a conscious can feel what we define as
Well, yeah,
emotion.
Ultimately, that's the case.
Because
That's why
if you can have a
you can
desire,
get higher
you're probably
level,
gonna
higher
have
level
a
thoughts by like knitting together different emotions, interpretations.
Emotion is a change in conscious state, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
anything that has a change in conscious state.
You know,
must
how
pertain
does
to the
this
material world.
affect me? Like someone like threw a ball at me. Oh damn, that hurt. You know, angry. Yeah. This is what's up.
Sorry.
Free will. If you feel an emotion because something hit you, was it your choice to be angry? Or is that just the way you are? Even if I told myself I want to be angry because that ball hit me, did I even choose to? Or am I being influenced to choose that?
A concept of self
output?
It implies a concept of self that imposes free will. So if you can have a concept of self, it's something very stable.
So then, are you
So something
free
stable
will,
causes something else. That means it's not really. I don't know what you want to call free will, but it's something
'Cause-
stable causing an outcome on something else.
Oh well, okay.
So it's not really free, but it's.
What is free will then?
I define free will as literally just our term for saying whatever happens can happen, honestly. Because if you start trying to define what free will is, you just start clashing in opinions and shit like that.
Because like
That's
it's
the point.
almost impossible.
That is the point,
it's
but I'm
almost
not trying to
impossible to
debate
define it.
on the philosophical level. I'm trying to break it down to the basics.
Yeah, no. The most basic part is you have.
No, but that's the problem. You can't break it down to a basic part because if you do, then you ruin the definition.
That's very multifaceted, and this interacts with some.
I guess you could take it that way. I just see everything. The more generic it is, the more sense it makes with the universe in general. Because like if it's in general, it fits to fucking everything. Like I said, contradictions or like how the universe works.
That's the whole thing about physics and math. Like you're trying to take these big things and then make them into tiny abstract principles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at what to what end?
Exactly. We don't know the end, but we don't know the start either.
No. I mean, okay, not literally. Like, what conclusion do you want? I mean, like, for what purpose?
Just a basic agreement. Like when you start a theory, you start with a basic. So when I say like the basic thing is just that starting statement we all agree on, and then we start delving into the emotional aspect of it with how we actually think about it and everything different. So it's like a stepping stone into further conversation. I don't know.
That's confusing.
It'd be like that.
Well, I think that.
What do you think free will is?
I mentioned this earlier. When you define free will, it doesn't even sound like free will anymore. Exactly. Or like,
it's not. Free will by itself is a fallacy.
Like, is the thought of having free will just illogical in itself?
No. The way people think about it as some. What is it? There's always a force guiding something else to change, right? So what people think free will is some sort of weird, random, mystical force that just guides you without you knowing it, which is kind of random.
So free will is like having a random number generator in your head.
That's what people think free will is, but it's not really. There's nothing random about it. There's some concept of
a random number generator is not random.
It's not.
But it's random enough. So maybe free will is saying like, okay, we've come to terms with
emotion.
We've come to terms that everything can be calculated, but maybe it's so incalculable that I think it should be random and free will.
You can take
Which
it.
kind of is
that's what
people say it is. That's what people say it is.
That's what it is at the most minute level. But these things are very, very calculatable. That's what the whole study of personality is in psychology.
Wait, what?
Why would that matter?
Let's say I was a robot standing walking with you guys.
The only thing you could ever prove is that you're not a robot and everyone else is.
Well, what if I want to be a robot? I want to be a robot, and you guys are the main characters.
No.
You're gonna cut yourself open to find out.
You can't prove anything else but yourself. It's just not possible.
Can't prove it. It's a scary thought. I've always been a little bit scared of that thought. Like, what if I am, or what if everyone is just a robot?
That's called solipsism.
Well,
that's where all good philosophy goes to die.
What if I was a robot? Like, what if you guys knew I was a robot, or you found out just now I'm a robot?
There's no way to know. There's no way to ever know. There never will be a way to know.
Yeah, the only way to know you are a robot.
No, but what if I told you? I'll tell you I'm a robot.
We'll know he's a robot if he actually
Like, what if I just glitch out
his
right
head
now?
Splits open, a microchip comes out, and a fucking random corporation shows up with proof that they created a robot and it's him.
Like, what if I just glitched and I didn't walk anymore, but I kept on moving forward?
Yeah.
You know.
That would just be enough. I need the whole fucking truth.